Hey, what's going on guys? My name is Brett Madigan and welcome back to Mad Again. So I haven't created a sort of rant video or gaming news video in quite a long time. So I thought, fuck it. The first video I'm going to do is about Outlast 2 being received quite weirdly in the Australian Classification Board. So, if you don't know or aren't following this story as of right now, basically what happened is the Outlast 2 version that was sent to the Australian Classification Board for review was not entirely the version that is the final version of the game. So basically it came down to originally being received as an RC, which is refused classification. Reasons being, the computer game is classified RC in accordance with the National Classification Code, Computer Games Table 1A, as computer games that depict, express, or otherwise deal with matters of sex, drug misuse or addiction, crime, cruelty, violence, or revolting or abhorrent, I don't know how to say that word, it's weird, phenomena in such a way that they offend against the standards of morality, decency, and propriety generally accepted by reasonable adults, to the extent that they should not be classified. That was the reason given as to why Outlast 2 was received as an RC. Now that was in its original version. If we go to the second article, you can pause the video if you want to, but it basically goes through the actual scene that was a problem, where it was like, this is not okay. You should probably not allow that. That's bad. That's bad. But it turns out that, hold on, let me find it. Okay, so the original quote by Red Barrel Games, or Red Barrels, was Outlast 2 has been rated R18+ by the classification branch in Australia and will be released on 26th of April 2017. There will only be one version of Outlast 2 available worldwide. But then there was a lot of controversy around the fact that the version stated on the Australian Classification Board was set to modified. Now, that modified tag, to people like myself, means that the game has been altered in such a way that something has either been changed or removed. So, yeah, I thought the modified meant that they just modified whatever the fuck was wrong with it and then resubmitted it. But it turns out, apparently, according to Red Barrel Games, or Red Barrel, it's either one of them two, alright? Their full statement was, the original submission of Outlast 2 sent to the Australian Classification Branch contained the final game code and a video file for reference taken from an alpha version of the game. This video file should not have been sent along with the game code, as its content was not representative of the final game. In the second submission, the same game code was submitted with a video file reflecting the final game content. The game was then approved for release with an R18+ rating. There will only be one version of Outlast 2 available worldwide. Okay, so as a developer, Red Barrels, how did you go through, sending them the final game code or the final version of the game and then, edit a video for them to watch, and then you literally played it back, watched it a couple times before you sent it, then you sent it, and now you're like, oh, shit, that shouldn't have been sent. Why did we send that to them? Or they're like, you know what? Let's fuck with the Australians and give them this totally fucked up video and see what they do. And lo and behold, they gave it an RC, because fucked up videos will do that to the Australian Classification Board. But then they were, very quick to resubmit. Now, I don't know what the time frame is for resubmission with an RC rating, but it used to be if a game got classified as RC, then had to be modified, if a game was modified, it would be like 1 or 2 years before they could actually reclassify it. And that's what happened with Left 4 Dead 2, where the developer had to, remove pretty much all the gore from the game and make the zombies, or whatever the hell you want to call them, basically disappear once they die. And that game, after the R18 plus rating system came in, it was I think it was a few months after that came in where Valve was like, oh yes, we should probably patch the Australian version because they have R18 plus now. I don't know if it was actually reclassified. Let me just... Classified in 2009 or 2009, and then reclassified in 2014. So the... what was it? The classification got put in, I think, the start of 2013. So it took them about a year for them to reclassify the game as R18 plus in its original form. Interesting. Now, let me just look up Outlast, because I don't know if that was the original version or whether that was changed. Yeah, so the funny thing, yeah, okay, so Outlast 1 was R18 plus, and it was in its original form. So that's interesting. Anyway, the whole idea of this has just been really weird. Like, you'll see one article with the title of like, the reason why Outlast 2 was refused classification, and then the other one's like, Australia might be getting a modified version of Outlast 2, but then they're saying the same quote over and over again. So it's like, dude, you only needed to make one article and then just keep that updated. That's all you needed to do. You didn't need to recreate it. You just... Nah. Some authors, man. Some authors. But anyway, it should be legit. It should be not modified, even though it's got a modified tag. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Because I'm really looking forward to Outlast 2. If it's anything like the demo, though... Oh, mate. That was too much fuckery for me to deal with. Too many scenes that didn't link together in any way, shape, or form. And there were so many, like, cutscene-y sequences, or sorry, scripted sequences, where it's just like, am I going to be scriptedly chased the entire game? Whereas Outlast 1 was never like that. It was, oh, you gotta creep in this room, there's a big fuck-off guy there. Oh, there's a big fuck-off guy trying to chase you. Go back through the fucking crawly bit, because then he can't get you. Ha! Fuck you! Exploit, Red Barrel Games. I found it, and I used it all the time. Hopefully you fix that in Outlast 2, otherwise I'll be exploiting the shit out of that again. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time, and we'll see whether Outlast 2 still has the night vision effect tied into film grain. Because I want to turn film grain off without losing the whole night vision, because that's what happened in Outlast 1. You turn film grain off, and night vision, for whatever reason, gets disabled. They're two separate post-processing effects, guys. Come on, do it better.